My siblings thought they could erase 40 years of my existence with a single forged will and a calculated legal maneuver. What they didn't know was that I, Michael Rodriguez, a combat veteran with 2 Bronze Stars and 15 years of military service, had been meticulously documenting every single interaction for years. And on that crisp autumn morning in the Denver County Courthouse, the truth would finally come to light in a way no one expected. The Rodriguez family legacy was complicated. My parents, hard-working immigrants from Mexico, had raised us with a complex understanding of survival and sacrifice. As the middle child who chose military service, I stood apart from my siblings' corporate trajectories. While my brother Daniel built a successful real estate empire in Colorado Springs, and my sister Eleanor climbed the corporate ladder as a high-powered attorney in Seattle, I dedicated my prime years to serving my country through multiple deployments. My final military tour in Iraq had been particularly challenging. A convoy ambush left me with permanent scars, a reconstructed knee, a titanium plate in my left arm, and a network of nerve damage that would remind me of that day for the rest of my life. The military provided medals, medical treatment, and, ultimately, an honorable medical discharge. What they couldn't provide was the family connection I had desperately hoped would welcome me home. Family gatherings became increasingly tense over the years. Daniel would make subtle jabs about my government benefits and military pension. Elena would dismiss my veteran support work with thinly veiled condescension, her corporate success casting a long shadow over my more modest achievements. Our mother, caught in the crossfire of her children's growing resentment, would change the subject, her eyes reflecting a mixture of pain and resignation. The turning point came 2 years ago when our father's health began to deteriorate rapidly. An Alzheimer's diagnosis transformed him into a shadow of his former self, unable to recognize his own children. I became the primary caregiver, using my veteran's benefits to supplement his medical expenses, spending countless weekends at his assisted living facility, ensuring he received the most compassionate care possible. Daniel and Elena, wrapped up in their professional pursuits, contributed financially but remained conspicuously absent. Their rare visits were performative at best, more concerned with potential inheritance implications than with our father's actual well-being. I continued my care, meticulously documenting every medical interaction, every treatment, every moment of his declining health. Unbeknownst to me, my siblings were orchestrating a calculated plan. While I focused on our father's care, they were strategizing how to minimize my share of the family's assets. My military pension, disability compensation, and potential inheritance became targets of their carefully constructed scheme. The first warning sign emerged when our long-standing family attorney suddenly became unreachable. Phone calls went unanswered, emails returned generic responses. When I finally secured a meeting, I was informed that he had retired, with a new firm taking over our family's legal matters. Daniel and Elena had strategically replaced him with their own legal team. Months later, they produced a revised version of our parents' will, a document that suspiciously reduced my inheritance to a mere fraction while providing substantial provisions for themselves. Their strategy was transparent. They believed my years of military service, my dedication to our parents, and my seemingly precarious financial situation would make me an easy target. What they failed to understand was that my military training had instilled far more than combat skills. Patience, strategic thinking, and the art of documentation were now my most powerful weapons. Every family interaction, every medical appointment, every seemingly insignificant conversation had been carefully recorded. These recordings would become my most potent evidence. Conversations revealing their true intentions, discussions about manipulating our father's declining mental state, admissions of financial maneuvering, all carefully preserved, time-stamped, and waiting for the perfect moment of revelation. The impending legal battle would be complex. Daniel would leverage his real estate connections, Elena would bring her corporate litigation experience, and I would bring something they never anticipated: an unwavering commitment to truth, backed by a lifetime of meticulously collected evidence. This conflict transcended monetary concerns. It was about respect, about acknowledging the sacrifices I had made for my family and my country. It was about proving that a veteran's worth cannot be measured by corporate success or real estate portfolios, but by integrity, dedication, and an unbreakable spirit. My name is Michael Rodriguez. I had served my country with honor. And now I was prepared to fight for justice in a way my siblings could never have imagined. My small home office in Aurora became a war room of a different kind. Military maps and veteran support organization plaques lined the walls, replaced now by a meticulously organized evidence board. Pinned photographs, financial statements, and carefully labeled audio recordings created a complex web of documentation. That would become my strategic defense. Ray Hernandez, a former JAG Corps attorney I'd met through my veteran support network, became my first critical ally. His expertise in military and civilian law provided an invaluable perspective. "They're counting on you not having the resources to fight back," Ray explained during our first strategy session, his weathered hands tracing the timeline of evidence I'd assembled. "But they don't understand the resilience of a veteran. The digital forensics would prove crucial." James Coleman, a fellow veteran who now worked in cybersecurity, helped me authenticate every recording and document. His expertise ensured that each piece of evidence would be ironclad in court. We spent countless nights verifying timestamps, cross-referencing medical records, and creating redundant backups of every critical piece of information. Financial investigation revealed the deeper motivations behind my siblings' actions. Daniel's real estate development had been teetering on the edge of collapse, with several high-profile projects facing potential foreclosure. Elena's law firm was wrestling with a significant malpractice lawsuit that threatened her professional standing. Their sudden interest in our father's estate wasn't just about inheritance, it was about financial survival. The most damning evidence came from a series of recorded conversations. One particular audio file captured Daniel speaking to Elena during a family gathering. "Michael's just sitting on a disability pension," he had said, believing no one was recording. "We can easily minimize his share. Who's going to believe a veteran with a medical discharge?" Another recording revealed Elena's cold calculation. "Dad's mental state means we can draft whatever will we want," she told Daniel during a phone call. "Michael's been too busy with his veteran support work to even notice what we're doing." Each recording was a carefully preserved piece of ammunition, waiting to be deployed at the most strategic moment. The veteran support community became my unexpected network of support. Weekly meetups, support groups, and professional connections provided more than emotional backing. They offered practical resources. Attorneys, forensic specialists, and financial advisors, all connected through a shared experience of military service. My approach was methodical, learned from years of military training. Intelligence gathering wasn't about brute force, but about patient, strategic collection of information. Every document, every recording was a tactical element in a complex operation. Medical records became another crucial piece of evidence. Detailed logs demonstrated my consistent care for our father. Hundreds of hours spent managing his treatment, coordinating with medical professionals, ensuring he received the best possible care. Bank statements told a different story, showing my siblings' minimal financial and personal contributions. The psychological warfare was subtle but intense. I knew my siblings believed they had the upper hand. their corporate success, their seemingly impenetrable legal connections. All of these were weapons they thought would overwhelm me. What they didn't understand was that my military training had prepared me for far more challenging battles. James helped me create a comprehensive digital archive. Advanced forensic techniques ensured the integrity of each piece of evidence. Multiple, secure backups, encrypted files, and meticulous documentation became my shield and sword. Ray's guidance was particularly illuminating. "This isn't just about winning a legal battle," he reminded me during one late-night strategy session. "This is about exposing the truth, about holding family accountable for their actions." My own financial situation appeared precarious on the surface. A disability pension, some veteran support work, and freelance consulting seemed insignificant compared to my siblings' corporate careers. But appearances could be deceiving. Years of careful financial management and veterans' benefits had prepared me for this moment. As the legal preparation continued, I reflected on the journey. Military service had taught me that true victory wasn't about overwhelming force, but about strategic precision. Every piece of evidence was a carefully placed tactical element in a complex operation. Daniel and Elena believed they were executing a simple legal maneuver. They had no idea of the storm that was about to be unleashed. A storm meticulously prepared, strategically planned, and ready to expose their true nature in the most public way possible. The courtroom would be my final deployment, and I was more prepared than they could ever imagine. The Denver County Courthouse stood like a monument to justice, its granite facade reflecting the early morning light. I adjusted my suit, pressed carefully, medals discreetly pinned inside the jacket, a reminder of the discipline and honor that had carried me through years of military service and would now guide me through this most personal battle. Ray Hernandez stood beside me, a quiet pillar of support. We had spent months preparing, dissecting every potential legal argument my siblings might present. The manila folder in my hand contained years of carefully collected evidence, a weapon more precise than any I had wielded during my military deployments. Daniel arrived first, his expensive Italian suit a stark contrast to the simple attire of most courthouse attendees. Elena followed shortly after, her corporate power suit radiating a confidence that seemed increasingly fragile. They exchanged brief glances, a silent communication that betrayed their uncertainty. The courtroom felt like familiar terrain, not so different from the strategic briefings I had attended during my military career. Each piece of evidence was a carefully placed tactical element, each recorded conversation a potential strike point. My siblings had no idea of the comprehensive documentation I had assembled. As we waited for the proceedings to begin, memories of my military service filtered through my mind. The discipline of gathering intelligence, the patience of waiting for the right moment to act, these were skills honed through years of service. This courtroom would become my new battlefield. The first hour of testimony focused on the technical details of the will. Daniel's lawyer presented a polished narrative of a family will, carefully crafted to minimize my inheritance. Their argument hinged on portraying me as a marginally functional veteran, unable to manage significant financial responsibilities. When my turn came, I began with a simple statement. "This isn't about money," I said, my voice steady. "This is about the truth." I proceeded to systematically dismantle their narrative, presenting documented evidence of my consistent care for our father, my financial responsibility, and the calculated attempts to minimize my role in the family. The first audio recording played like a thunderbolt in the quiet courtroom. Daniel's voice, captured during a family gathering, discussed minimizing my inheritance. "Michael's just sitting on a disability pension," he had said, unaware he was being recorded. The room went silent. Elena's recorded conversation followed, revealing her cold calculation about manipulating our father's will. Her professional demeanor cracked visibly as her own words echoed through the courtroom. Medical records told a story of dedication. Hundreds of hours of documented care, financial transactions showing my personal sacrifices, detailed logs of medical appointments, each document a testament to my commitment to our father's well-being. Ray guided me through the presentation of evidence with the precision of a military operation. Each piece of documentation was introduced methodically, building a comprehensive picture that directly contradicted my siblings' narrative. The turning point came unexpectedly. A series of bank statements revealed the minimal financial contributions from Daniel and Elena, contrasted against my extensive care and financial support for our father. Their attempts to portray me as an unreliable family member crumbled under the weight of documented evidence. Expert witnesses testified to the authenticity of the recordings, the validity of the medical documentation, and the comprehensive nature of my care. A geriatric care specialist provided detailed testimony about the importance of consistent, compassionate care for Alzheimer's patients. Daniel's lawyer attempted to challenge the recordings, but the forensic evidence was irrefutable. Each audio file had been authenticated, each document meticulously verified. The digital forensics team had ensured there was no room for legal challenges. As the day progressed, the courtroom atmosphere transformed. What had begun as a seemingly straightforward will contest had become a stark exposure of family dynamics, corporate ambition, and personal betrayal. Elena's composure began to crack. The confident corporate lawyer who had entered the courtroom now looked small, her carefully constructed narrative falling apart with each piece of evidence presented. The final blow came unexpectedly. A series of emails revealed internal communications between Daniel and Elena, discussing strategies to minimize my inheritance. Their own words became their most damning testimony. When the judge called for a recess, I felt a sense of calm that surprised even me. This wasn't about victory or revenge. This was about truth. About honoring the commitment I had made to my father, about proving that a veteran's worth extends far beyond monetary value. Ray placed a hand on my shoulder. "You've done more than just win a legal battle," he said quietly. "You've exposed a truth that needed to be seen." As we walked out of the courtroom, I knew this was more than a legal victory. This was a testament to the values of service, dedication, and integrity, values I had learned during my years in the military and had now brought to my most personal battle. The weeks following the court case unfolded like a complex military operation, each day bringing new revelations and unexpected developments. News of the legal battle spread quickly through our professional networks, creating ripples that would fundamentally alter the Rodriguez family dynamics forever. Within days of the court's decision, I received a call from the Veterans Support Network I had been involved with for years. They wanted to share my story, not as a tale of personal victory, but as a broader lesson about family, integrity, and the true meaning of service. The invitation to speak at their national conference came as a surprise, but it felt like a natural progression of the journey I had undertaken. Daniel's real estate empire began to crumble rapidly. The exposure of his manipulative tactics had damaged his professional reputation more severely than the court case itself. Clients and partners who had once viewed him as a shrewd businessman now saw him through a different lens, one of calculated betrayal. Elena's law firm initiated an internal investigation prompted by the revelations in court. Her carefully constructed, professional image had been irreparably damaged. Colleagues who had once praised her aggressive approach now questioned her ethical standards, whispering about the family dispute that had become very public. Our mother, who had remained silent during most of the legal proceedings, reached out to me in a way she never had before. A handwritten letter arrived one quiet Tuesday morning, filled with a mixture of apology, pride, and a deep sense of maternal pain. She wrote about the immigrant experience, about survival, and about the true meaning of family that went beyond financial calculations. Ray Hernandez helped me establish a foundation using the settlement funds. The Michael Rodriguez Veterans Support Foundation would provide resources for veterans dealing with family legal disputes, medical care challenges, and financial planning. It wasn't about revenge. It was about creating something meaningful from a painful experience. The veterans support community rallied around the foundation. Lawyers, financial advisors, medical professionals all volunteered their time and expertise. What had begun as a personal legal battle had transformed into a movement of support and advocacy. Unexpected allies emerged from the woodwork. Other veterans who had experienced similar family betrayals reached out, sharing their stories, finding strength in collective experience. Support groups formed, legal resources were compiled, and a network of mutual assistance began to take shape. During a follow-up meeting with Ray, I learned the full extent of the impact. The court case had exposed a broader issue of how veterans were often overlooked or manipulated by family members who didn't understand the true value of their service. Our foundation would become a beacon of hope and support for those facing similar challenges. The financial details were meticulously managed. Instead of seeking personal vengeance, I channeled the energy into creating something constructive. The settlement funds were strategically invested, with a significant portion dedicated to supporting veteran causes, medical research, and family support programs. Our father, still battling Alzheimer's, remained in care, but the nature of his care changed dramatically. The foundation established a special program for veterans with degenerative conditions, ensuring that those who served would receive the most compassionate, comprehensive support possible. Months passed, and the initial anger transformed into something more nuanced. Healing wasn't about winning or losing. It was about understanding, about creating meaning from pain. The Veteran Support Network became my new family, a community built on shared experiences and mutual respect. The national conference invitation proved to be a turning point. Standing before hundreds of veterans, I shared not just my story, but a broader message about resilience, integrity, and the importance of fighting for what's right. The reception was overwhelming. Not just applause, but a collective recognition of a shared struggle. Daniel and Elena became peripheral figures in my life. They had become cautionary tales within their professional networks, their reputations permanently altered by the exposure of their calculated betrayal. But I refused to let their actions define me or consume my energy. The foundation grew rapidly. What had begun as a personal legal battle became a national resource for veterans facing complex family and legal challenges. Workshops, legal clinics, support groups, all designed to provide the kind of comprehensive support that I had wished for during my own struggle. My perspective shifted. The courtroom battle was never about winning against my siblings. It was about standing up for integrity, about proving that a veteran's worth extends far beyond monetary value or corporate success. It was about creating a legacy of support and understanding. As the year drew to a close, I reflected on the journey. The Michael Rodriguez Veterans Support Foundation had become more than just a legal victory. It was a testament to the power of resilience, of turning personal pain into collective healing. The view from my new office, overlooking the Denver skyline, was different now, clearer, more purposeful. What had begun as a family betrayal had transformed into a mission of support, of advocacy, of true service. Some battles are won not through confrontation, but through the quiet, persistent work of building something meaningful. And this was my most important mission yet, 2 years had passed since the landmark court case that had rewritten the Rodriguez family narrative. The Michael Rodriguez Veterans Support Foundation had grown from a personal mission to a national movement, touching the lives of hundreds of veterans facing similar challenges of family betrayal, medical struggles, and professional reinvention. My morning routine had changed dramatically. Gone were the days of corporate ladder climbing or military deployment preparations. Now, each day began with a cup of coffee and a review of the Foundation's ongoing projects, emails from veterans seeking support, and strategic planning sessions that felt more meaningful than any previous professional endeavor. The Foundation had become a comprehensive support network. Legal clinics operated in major cities, providing pro bono services to veterans navigating complex family and professional challenges. Our medical support program had expanded to include specialized care for veterans with degenerative conditions, mental health resources, and family support mechanisms. An unexpected invitation arrived one crisp autumn morning. The National Veterans Association wanted me to deliver the keynote speech at their annual conference. The topic was both simple and profound. Resilience beyond battlefield lines, a message that resonated far beyond my personal story. Preparing for the speech brought back memories of my military training. Just like mission preparation, this required meticulous planning, strategic thinking, and a deep understanding of the audience. Ray Hernandez helped me refine the narrative, ensuring it would inspire without becoming overly dramatic. The Veteran Support Network had become my true family. Monthly gatherings, support groups, and collaborative projects created a community that transcended blood relations. These were connections forged not by birth, but by shared experiences, mutual respect, and a commitment to supporting one another. Our research division had begun to uncover systemic issues affecting veterans. Family dynamics, legal challenges, medical care gaps. Each investigation revealed layers of complexity that went far beyond my personal experience. The Foundation was becoming a catalyst for broader systemic change. An investigative piece in a national magazine highlighted the Foundation's work. From personal battle to national movement, the headline read. The article detailed how a single legal battle had transformed into a comprehensive support system for veterans across the country. Daniel and Elena had become distant memories. Their professional careers had never fully recovered from the public exposure of their manipulative tactics. Occasional updates from mutual acquaintances suggested they were struggling to rebuild their reputations. Our mother had become an unexpected ally. Her initial silence had transformed into active support for the Foundation. She attended events, shared her immigrant story, and became a powerful voice for family integrity and support. Her journey of understanding and healing had been as profound as my own. The Foundation's legal clinic had become a beacon of hope for veterans facing family disputes. We had successfully represented over 200 cases, each victory more than just a legal win. It was a restoration of dignity, a recognition of service, and a path to healing. Medical research became another crucial arm of our work. Partnerships with leading research institutions explored the long-term impacts of military service, focusing on degenerative conditions, mental health, and family support mechanisms. Our father's ongoing battle with Alzheimer's had transformed into a mission of understanding and support. Speaking engagements took me across the country. From small community centers to national conferences, I shared not just a personal story, but a broader message of resilience, integrity, and the power of turning personal challenges into collective support. The financial model of the Foundation was unique. Instead of traditional non-profit structures, we created a hybrid approach that combined advocacy, legal support, medical research, and community building. Corporate partnerships and veteran-led funding mechanisms ensured our independence and effectiveness. Technology played a crucial role. Our digital platform connected veterans from across the country, providing resources, support networks, and a platform for sharing experiences. What had begun as a personal legal battle had transformed into a technological hub of support and advocacy. Unexpected allies continued to emerge. Former military colleagues, legal professionals, medical experts, all found a home in our expanding network. The foundation had become more than an organization. It was a movement of collective healing and support. The annual conference became a highlight of the year. Veterans from different generations, different branches of service, united by a common experience of service and resilience. Our panel discussions, workshops, and support groups created a comprehensive ecosystem of support. Reflection became a critical part of the journey. The anger that had initially fueled the legal battle had transformed into a nuanced understanding of family, service, and personal growth. Each challenge became an opportunity for deeper understanding, for creating meaningful change. The view from my office had changed. No longer was it about personal victory or corporate success. It was about creating a legacy of support, of understanding, of recognizing the true value of service that extended far beyond military deployments. As another year drew to a close, I realized that the most significant battles are often fought not with legal documents or courtroom strategies, but with compassion, understanding, and a commitment to collective healing. The Rodriguez family story had become something far greater than a personal dispute. It had become a movement of hope, resilience, and transformation. Some stories are meant to be lived, not just told, and this was only the beginning. 5 years. After the landmark court case, life had transformed in ways I could never have anticipated. The Michael Rodriguez Veterans Support Foundation had become a national beacon of hope, a testament to the power of resilience and collective healing. An unexpected communication arrived one quiet Tuesday morning. A handwritten letter, postmarked from San Francisco, bore Elena's distinctive handwriting. I hesitated before opening it, memories of past betrayals flickering through my mind. The letter was a confession of sorts. Elena detailed her professional and personal collapse following the court case. The exposure of her manipulative tactics had cost her partnership at the law firm, her professional reputation in tatters. But more importantly, she wrote about a profound personal transformation, a recognition of the depth of her betrayal, and a genuine desire for reconciliation. Our mother had been the bridge. Throughout the years, she had maintained a delicate connection, never taking sides but always hoping for healing. Her persistent love and quiet wisdom had created a space for potential understanding. The foundation had grown far beyond my initial vision. What began as a personal legal battle had transformed into a comprehensive support network for veterans. Legal clinics, medical research programs, family support initiatives. Each program was a response to the systemic challenges veterans faced. Ray Hernandez, my original legal advisor, had become more than just a professional ally. He was now a key strategic advisor to the foundation, his expertise helping to shape policies that supported veterans across multiple dimensions of their lives. An invitation from the Department of Veterans Affairs arrived, requesting a comprehensive review of veteran support mechanisms. The Foundation's work had caught the attention of national policymakers. Our research had exposed critical gaps in veteran support systems, creating momentum for meaningful change. The Medical Research Division had made significant breakthroughs. Our work on degenerative conditions affecting veterans, inspired by my father's battle with Alzheimer's, was gaining international recognition. Partnerships with leading research institutions had opened new avenues of understanding and support. A documentary crew approached me about telling the Foundation's story. Initially hesitant, I recognized the potential to reach a broader audience. The film would not just be about a legal battle, but about the broader challenges veterans face in personal and professional landscapes. Daniel's professional decline had been complete. The real estate empire he had once proudly built had crumbled, a victim of his own manipulative tactics and the exposure of his character. He had reached out sporadically, seeking some form of reconciliation, but the damage was too profound. The SEER annual Veterans Conference had become a highlight of the national calendar. Thousands of veterans, support professionals, and advocates gathered to share experiences, strategies, and hope. Our foundation was at the center of this growing movement of collective healing. An unexpected opportunity emerged to testify before a congressional committee. The Foundation's research on veteran support systems had revealed systemic challenges that demanded national attention. My testimony would become a catalyst for potential legislative changes. Technology played a crucial role in our expanded mission. A digital platform connected veterans across the country, providing resources, support networks, and a platform for sharing experiences. What had begun as a personal legal battle had transformed into a technological hub of advocacy and support. The personal transformation was perhaps the most profound. The anger that had initially driven the legal battle had evolved into a nuanced understanding of family, service, and personal growth. Each challenge became an opportunity for deeper empathy and understanding. Elena's letter had opened a door to potential reconciliation, not an immediate reunion, but a cautious path toward understanding. Our mother's persistent hope had created a space for potential healing, a testament to the power of unconditional love. The Foundation's impact extended far beyond legal support. We had created a holistic support ecosystem that addressed the multifaceted challenges veterans faced. From mental health resources to family mediation, from medical research to professional development, our approach was comprehensive. A breakthrough in veteran mental health support became one of our most significant achievements. Partnerships with leading psychiatric researchers had developed innovative approaches to addressing PTSD and other service-related mental health challenges. The annual gala had become a significant event, drawing support from across the country. Corporate leaders, veterans, support professionals, all united by a common mission of supporting those who had served. The Foundation had become more than an organization. It was a movement. Reflecting on the journey, I realized that the most significant battles are often fought not with legal documents or courtroom strategies, but with compassion, understanding, and a commitment to collective healing. The Rodriguez family story had become something far greater than a personal dispute. It had become a movement of hope, resilience, and transformation. As another year drew to a close, I stood in the Foundation's headquarters, surrounded by a team of dedicated professionals. The view from my office had changed dramatically. No longer was it about personal victory or corporate success. It was about creating a legacy of support, of understanding, of recognizing the true value of service that extended far beyond military deployments. Some stories are meant to be lived, not just told. And this was a story of transformation, of a veteran who turned a personal betrayal into a national movement of hope and support. The journey continues, one veteran, one family, one story at a time. A decade had passed since the landmark court case that had transformed my life. The Michael Rodriguez Veteran Support Foundation had become more than an organization. It was a living, breathing testament to the power of resilience, compassion, and collective healing. Today marked a significant milestone. Our foundation, was preparing to launch a comprehensive national initiative aimed at addressing the complex challenges faced by veterans transitioning back to civilian life. The project represented years of research, collaboration, and tireless advocacy. The morning began with a strategy meeting that brought together an extraordinary team. Veterans, medical professionals, legal experts, and policymakers gathered to finalize the details of our most ambitious project yet. A holistic support system that would address everything from mental health to professional reintegration, legal support to family mediation. My own journey had become a powerful narrative of transformation. From a bitter legal battle with my siblings to a national movement of support, the foundation had grown far beyond my initial imagination. Each program, each initiative was a response to the systemic challenges veterans faced, challenges I had intimately understood through my own experiences. Elena had become an unexpected ally in recent years. Her own professional redemption had been hard-won. After losing her law partnership, she had dedicated herself to advocacy work, focusing on corporate ethics and family support. Our occasional conversations were tentative but meaningful, a testament to the possibility of healing. Daniel remained a distant figure, his professional reputation never fully recovering from the exposure of his manipulative tactics. Occasional updates through mutual acquaintances suggested he had retreated from the public eye, a shadow of his former ambitious self. Our mother, now in her late 70s, remained the silent hero of our family's story. Her unwavering love and belief in reconciliation had been the constant thread that held our fractured family together. She had become a powerful advocate for the foundation, sharing her immigrant experience and the true meaning of family at our events. The national conference had become a landmark event in the veteran support community. This year's gathering would be particularly significant. We were unveiling a comprehensive study that exposed critical gaps in veteran support systems, with recommendations that could potentially reshape national policy. Technology had become a crucial component of our mission. Our digital platform now connected thousands of veterans across the country, providing resources, support networks, and a platform for sharing experiences. What had begun as a personal legal battle had transformed into a technological hub of advocacy and support. Medical research remained a critical focus. Our partnerships with leading research institutions had produced groundbreaking insights into the long-term impacts of military service. The work was personal, inspired by my father's battle with Alzheimer's and the experiences of countless veterans facing similar challenges. An invitation from the White House arrived, requesting a comprehensive briefing on our foundation's work. The research and support models we had developed were now being considered as potential national standards for veteran support. Ray Hernandez, my original legal advisor, had become a key strategic advisor to the foundation. His expertise had been instrumental in shaping policies that supported veterans across multiple dimensions of their lives. Now semi-retired, he remained a crucial mentor and strategic thinker. The legal clinic we had established had become a national model. We had successfully represented hundreds of veterans in complex legal battles, addressing everything from family disputes to professional discrimination. Each case was more than a legal victory. It was a restoration of dignity. Our mental health initiative had become particularly impactful. Innovative approaches to addressing PTSD and service-related mental health challenges had emerged from our research and support programs. We had created a comprehensive ecosystem of support that addressed the complex psychological impacts of military service. The annual gala had evolved into a significant national event. Corporate leaders, veterans, support professionals, all united by a common mission of supporting those who had served. What had begun as a personal story had become a movement of collective healing and support. Reflection had become a critical part of the journey. The anger that had initially fueled the legal battle had transformed into a nuanced understanding of family, service, and personal growth. Each challenge became an opportunity for deeper understanding, for creating meaningful change. An unexpected development emerged. A group of young veterans had begun to take leadership roles within the foundation. Their fresh perspectives and innovative approaches were bringing new energy to our mission. The foundation was no longer just my story. It had become a collective narrative of hope and resilience. The documentary about the Foundation's journey had been released to critical acclaim. It wasn't just a story about a legal battle, but a broader exploration of veteran experiences, family dynamics, and the power of resilience. Screenings across the country had sparked important conversations about veteran support. As we prepared for the national conference, I found myself reflecting on the journey. The view from my office had changed dramatically over the years. No longer was it about personal victory or corporate success. It was about creating a legacy of support, of understanding, of recognizing the true value of service that extended far beyond military deployments. The foundation had become a living testament to the power of turning personal pain into collective healing. What had begun as a response to family betrayal had transformed into a national movement of support, advocacy, and hope. Some stories are meant to be lived, not just told. And this story, our story, continues to unfold. One veteran, one family, one moment of hope at a time. 15 years had passed since that fateful day when my siblings attempted to erase my existence through a forged will. The journey had been anything but linear, a complex tapestry of personal transformation, professional redemption, and collective healing. Our father passed away 3 years ago, his battle with Alzheimer's finally coming to an end. In his final moments, it was not Daniel or Elena who sat by his bedside, but me. The irony was not lost. The very son they had tried to write out of the family narrative had become the one who remained most connected to our family's true legacy. A private memorial service brought unexpected closure. Elena arrived with a vulnerability I had never seen before. Years of professional and personal reckoning had stripped away her previous facade of corporate invincibility. Daniel remained absent, his shame preventing him from facing the final chapter of our family's story. The foundation had become a living, breathing entity that transcended my initial vision. What began as a personal response to betrayal had transformed into a comprehensive support system for veterans navigating complex personal and professional challenges. Each program, each initiative was a testament to the power of turning personal pain into collective healing. Our research had uncovered systemic challenges that extended far beyond individual stories. Veterans faced a complex landscape of legal, medical, and social challenges that traditional support systems failed to address. The foundation had become a bridge connecting personal experiences to broader societal understanding. A breakthrough came in the form of federal legislation. Our comprehensive research and advocacy had influenced significant policy changes, creating more robust support mechanisms for veterans transitioning to civilian life. The Michael Rodriguez Veteran Support Foundation was now referenced in congressional reports as a model for comprehensive veteran support. Personal reconciliation remained a complex journey. Elena's occasional visits and communications revealed a profound transformation. Her own professional fall from grace had forced her to confront the deeper meanings of family, integrity, and personal value. Our conversations were tentative but meaningful, a delicate bridge rebuilt through mutual understanding. The annual Veteran Support Conference had become a landmark event. This year's gathering would focus on holistic approaches to veteran support, addressing mental health, legal, challenges, family dynamics, and professional reintegration. Our work had expanded far beyond the initial legal battle, touching lives across multiple dimensions. Technology played a crucial role in our expanded mission. A digital platform connected veterans nationwide, providing resources, support networks, and a platform for sharing experiences. What had begun as a personal legal battle had transformed into a technological ecosystem of support and advocacy. Our medical research division had made significant strides. Partnerships with leading research institutions had produced groundbreaking insights into the long-term impacts of military service. The work was deeply personal, inspired by my father's battle with Alzheimer's and the experiences of countless veterans facing similar challenges. An unexpected opportunity emerged from the most unlikely of sources. The very law firm that had once represented my siblings now sought our foundation's expertise in developing more comprehensive support mechanisms for employees facing complex personal challenges. Ray Hernandez, my original legal advisor, had become more than a professional ally. Now in his 70s, he remained a crucial mentor, his wisdom and experience continuing to shape the foundation's strategic approach. Our relationship had evolved into a deep friendship, built on mutual respect and shared commitment. The mental health initiative had become particularly impactful. Innovative approaches to addressing PTSD and service-related psychological challenges had emerged from our research. We had created a comprehensive ecosystem of support that addressed the complex psychological impacts of military service. Our mother remained the silent hero of our family's narrative. Her unwavering love and belief in reconciliation had been the constant thread that held our fractured family together. Now, in her 80s, she continued to inspire the Foundation's work, sharing her immigrant experience and the true meaning of family resilience. A documentary series about the Foundation's journey had gained international recognition. It wasn't just a story about a legal battle, but a broader exploration of veteran experiences, family dynamics, and the power of resilience. Screenings across multiple countries had sparked important conversations about support and healing. The younger generation of veterans had begun to take leadership roles within the Foundation. Their fresh perspectives and innovative approaches were bringing new energy to our mission. The Foundation was no longer just my story. It had become a collective narrative of hope and transformation. Reflection had become a critical part of the journey. The anger that had initially fueled the legal battle had transformed into a nuanced understanding of family, service, and personal growth. Each challenge became an opportunity for deeper empathy, for creating meaningful change. As I prepared for the upcoming national conference, I found myself looking back on the journey. The view from my office had changed dramatically over the years. No longer was it about personal victory or corporate success. It was about creating a legacy of support, of understanding, of recognizing the true value of service that extended far beyond military deployments. The Foundation had become a living testament to the power of turning personal pain into collective healing. What had begun as a response to family betrayal had transformed into a national movement of support, advocacy, and hope. Some stories are meant to be lived, not just told. And this story, our story, continues to unfold, one veteran, one family, one moment of hope at a time. 20 years had passed since that pivotal moment when my siblings attempted to erase my existence through a forged will. The journey had been a testament to the power of resilience, transformation, and the unbreakable spirit of service. Our unexpected invitation arrived on a crisp autumn morning. The National Veterans Memorial was preparing a special exhibit documenting extraordinary veteran stories of resilience and community impact. Our foundation had been selected as a centerpiece, highlighting how one veteran's personal struggle had transformed into a national movement of support and healing. The retrospective wasn't just about achievements, it was a profound exploration of the complex journey veterans navigate, from military service to personal challenges, from individual battles to collective healing. Our story had become more than a personal narrative. It was a broader commentary on family, service, and the true meaning of resilience. Daniel had long since disappeared from public view. Rumors suggested he had moved to a small town in Montana, his once promising real estate career reduced to managing a handful of modest properties. The ambitious brother who had once sought to write me out of our family's narrative had become a footnote in his own story. Elena's transformation had been the most surprising. After her professional downfall, she had reinvented herself as a non-profit advocate focusing on family support and legal reforms. Our occasional conversations had evolved into a genuine, if still cautious, form of reconciliation. Our mother, now in her 90s, remained the quiet matriarch of our family's complex narrative. Her wisdom had been the constant thread that held our fractured family together. Despite her age, she continued to attend foundation events, her presence a powerful reminder of the immigrant experience and the true meaning of family resilience. The foundation had grown far beyond its original mission. What began as a response to personal betrayal had transformed into a comprehensive support ecosystem for veterans. Our programs now addressed a wide range of challenges, from mental health and legal support to professional reintegration and family mediation. Federal legislation bore the foundation's fingerprints. Policies we had championed had fundamentally reshaped veteran support mechanisms. Our research had exposed critical gaps in existing systems, creating pathways for more comprehensive, holistic support approaches. Technology had become a crucial component of our mission. A sophisticated digital platform connected veterans across the country, providing resources, support networks, and a platform for sharing experiences. What had once been a personal legal battle had evolved into a technological hub of advocacy and support. The Medical Research Division had made groundbreaking discoveries. Partnerships with leading research institutions had produced innovative insights into the long-term impacts of military service. Our work on veteran health, particularly mental health and degenerative conditions, had gained international recognition. An unexpected development emerged from the younger generation of veterans. They had begun to take leadership roles within the foundation, bringing fresh perspectives and innovative approaches. The organization was no longer just my story. It had become a collective narrative of hope and resilience. Ray Hernandez, now in his 80s, remained a crucial mentor. Though retired, he continued to provide strategic guidance, his wisdom a testament to the enduring power of professional dedication and personal commitment. The annual Veteran Support Conference had become a global event. This year's gathering would bring together veterans, researchers, policymakers, and advocates from around the world. Our foundation had become a beacon of hope, a model for comprehensive veteran support. A documentary series chronicling our journey had gained international acclaim. It wasn't just a story about a legal battle, but a broader exploration of veteran experiences, family dynamics, and the power of transformative resilience. Screenings across multiple countries had sparked important conversations about support, healing, and the true meaning of service. Our mental health initiative had become particularly impactful. Innovative approaches to addressing PTSD and service-related psychological challenges had emerged from years of research and personal experience. We had created a comprehensive ecosystem of support that addressed the complex psychological impacts of military service. The personal transformation had been profound. The anger that had initially fueled the legal battle had transformed into a nuanced understanding of family, service, and personal growth. Each challenge had become an opportunity for deeper empathy, for creating meaningful change. As I prepared for the National Veterans Memorial exhibit, I found myself reflecting on the journey. The view from my office had changed dramatically over the years. No longer was it about personal victory or corporate success. It was about creating a legacy of support, of understanding, of recognizing the true value of service that extended far beyond military deployments. The foundation had become a living testament to the power of turning personal pain into collective healing. What had begun as a response to family betrayal had transformed into a global movement of support, advocacy, and hope. Some stories are meant to be lived, not just told. And this story, our story, continues to unfold. One veteran, one family, one moment of hope at a time. As the exhibit preparation continued, I realized that the true victory wasn't in the legal battle or the foundation's success. It was in the lives touched, the support provided, the healing facilitated. Our journey had become a beacon of hope for veterans everywhere, a reminder that resilience is not about winning, but about continuing to move forward, no matter the challenges. 30 years had passed since that pivotal moment when my siblings attempted to erase my existence through a forged will. The journey had become a profound testament to the power of resilience, transformation, and the enduring spirit of service. The Michael Rodriguez Veterans Support Foundation now stood as a global institution, far beyond anything I could have imagined during those initial difficult years. What began as a personal response to family betrayal had transformed into a comprehensive global network of support, advocacy, and healing for veterans worldwide. A significant milestone approached. The foundation was preparing to launch its most ambitious project yet, a global initiative aimed at creating a comprehensive, holistic support system for veterans across different countries, cultures, and conflict contexts. Our research had revealed that the challenges faced by veterans were universal, transcending national boundaries. Our digital platform had evolved into a sophisticated global network. Veterans from conflict zones in Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and beyond now connected, shared experiences, and supported one another. Technology had become the ultimate bridge, breaking down geographical and cultural barriers. Elena had become a critical partner in the Foundation's global mission. Her own journey of redemption had led her to become a key international advocate for veteran support. A relationship once fractured by betrayal had transformed into a powerful collaboration focused on creating meaningful change. Daniel remained a distant memory. Occasional updates suggested he had lived a quiet life, never fully recovering from the professional and personal fallout of his earlier actions. The ambitious brother who had once sought to write me out of our family's narrative had become a footnote in a much larger story of hope and resilience. Our mother had passed away 5 years ago, but her legacy continued to inspire the Foundation's work. In her final years, she'd become the most powerful storyteller, sharing the immigrant experience, the meaning of family, and the importance of resilience. Her wisdom had been the cornerstone of our approach to veteran support. Ray Hernandez, though no longer with us, remained a spiritual mentor. The legal and strategic foundations he had helped establish continued to guide the Foundation's work. His approach to veteran support, rooted in compassion, strategic thinking, and unwavering commitment, remained our guiding principle. The Medical Research Division had become a global leader in understanding the long-term impacts of military service. Breakthroughs in treating PTSD, addressing degenerative conditions, and supporting veteran mental health had revolutionized approaches to veteran care worldwide. Federal and international policies now bore the Foundation's distinct imprint. Our research and advocacy had fundamentally reshaped how governments and international organizations approached veteran support. What had begun as a personal legal battle had transformed into a global movement of policy change and social support. The younger generation of veterans had taken full leadership of the foundation. Their innovative approaches, technological expertise, and deep understanding of modern veteran challenges had propelled the organization into new realms of support and advocacy. The foundation was no longer just my story. It had become a collective narrative of hope, resilience, and transformation. Our annual global conference had become the most significant gathering of veteran support professionals, researchers, policymakers, and advocates. This year's event would bring together experts from over 50 countries, showcasing the Foundation's global impact and collaborative approach to veteran support. The documentary series chronicling our journey had been translated into multiple languages, becoming a powerful tool for raising awareness about veteran challenges and the importance of comprehensive support. What had begun as a personal story had become a global narrative of hope and healing. Technological innovation had been key to our expanded mission. Artificial intelligence, advanced data analytics, and sophisticated digital platforms now allowed us to provide personalized support to veterans across the globe. Machine learning algorithms helped identify veterans at risk, connecting them with appropriate resources and support mechanisms. Our mental health initiative had revolutionized approaches to veteran psychological support. Innovative treatments, combining traditional therapeutic approaches with cutting-edge technological solutions, had provided hope to veterans struggling with PTSD, depression, and other service-related psychological challenges. The Foundation's approach had always been holistic. We didn't just provide support, we worked to understand and address the root causes of veteran challenges. From legal support to mental health resources, from professional reintegration to family mediation, our approach was comprehensive and compassionate. As I prepared for the global conference, I found myself reflecting on the extraordinary journey. The view from my office had changed dramatically over the decades. No longer was it about personal victory or corporate success. It was about creating a legacy of support, of understanding, of recognizing the true value of service that extended far beyond military deployments. The Foundation had become a living testament to the power of turning personal pain into collective healing. What had begun as a response to family betrayal had transformed into a global movement of support, advocacy, and hope. Some stories are meant to be lived, not just told. And this story, our story, continues to unfold, one veteran, one family, one moment of hope at a time. As I looked out over the global network we had created, I realized that the true victory wasn't in the legal battle or the Foundation's success. It was in the lives touched, the support provided, the healing facilitated. Our journey had become a beacon of hope for veterans everywhere, a reminder that resilience is not about winning, but about continuing to move forward, no matter the challenges. 40 years had passed since that fateful moment when my siblings attempted to erase my existence through a forged will. The journey had become more than a personal story. It was now a global narrative of resilience, transformation, and the enduring power of service. The Michael Rodriguez Veterans Support Foundation had transcended its original mission, becoming a comprehensive global institution that touched the lives of veterans across continents, cultures, and generations. What had begun as a personal response to family betrayal had evolved into a sophisticated global network of support, advocacy, and healing. A groundbreaking initiative was about to launch, the most ambitious project in the Foundation's history. We were preparing to establish the first truly global veteran support ecosystem, leveraging artificial intelligence, advanced data analytics, and a comprehensive understanding of veteran challenges across different global contexts. Our digital platform had become a lifeline for veterans worldwide. Advanced machine learning algorithms now provided personalized support, identifying potential challenges before they became critical. Veterans from conflict zones in Africa, South America, Asia, and beyond could now access immediate, tailored support with the touch of a button. Elena had become a critical global leader in veteran support advocacy. Her journey of personal transformation had led her to become a key international policy advisor, working with governments and international organizations to develop comprehensive veteran support mechanisms. Our relationship, once defined by betrayal, had transformed into a powerful partnership focused on creating meaningful global change. Daniel had passed away 5 years ago, his life a cautionary tale of missed opportunities and personal limitations. The brother who had once sought to write me out of our family's narrative had become a footnote in a much larger story of hope and resilience. Our mother's legacy continued to inspire the Foundation's work, even decades after her passing. The values she had instilled, resilience, compassion, and the importance of family, remained the core principles guiding our global mission. Ray Hernandez's strategic foundation continued to guide our approach. The legal and advocacy frameworks he had helped establish had become a blueprint for veteran support organizations worldwide. His vision of comprehensive, compassionate support had become a global standard. Medical research had reached unprecedented levels of sophistication. Our global research network had made breakthrough discoveries in treating service-related conditions, understanding the long-term impacts of military service, and developing innovative support mechanisms for veterans facing complex physical and psychological challenges. International policy had been fundamentally reshaped by our Foundation's work. Governments and international organizations now approached veteran support with a holistic, comprehensive perspective that we had pioneered. What had begun as a personal legal battle had transformed into a global movement of policy innovation and social support. The younger generation of veteran leaders had completely reimagined the Foundation's approach. Their technological expertise, global perspective, and deep understanding of modern veteran challenges had propelled the organization into realms we could never have imagined. The Foundation was no longer just my story. It was a collective narrative of hope, resilience, and global transformation. Our annual Global Summit had become the most significant gathering of veteran support professionals, researchers, policymakers, and advocates. This year's event would bring together experts from over 75 countries, showcasing innovative approaches to veteran support, sharing cutting-edge research, and developing collaborative strategies for addressing global veteran challenges. The documentary series chronicling our journey had been translated into multiple languages, becoming a powerful tool for raising awareness about veteran experiences. What had begun as a personal story of family betrayal had become a global narrative of hope, healing, and the power of resilience. Technological innovation had become the cornerstone of our support approach. Quantum computing, advanced artificial intelligence, and sophisticated global networks now allowed us to provide unprecedented levels of personalized support to veterans worldwide. Our algorithms could now predict and prevent veteran challenges with remarkable accuracy. The Mental Health Initiative had revolutionized global approaches to veteran psychological support. Innovative treatments combining traditional therapeutic approaches with advanced technological solutions had provided hope to veterans struggling with complex psychological challenges resulting from military service. Our approach remained holistically rooted in the values that had guided us from the beginning. We didn't just provide support, we worked to understand and address the root causes of veteran challenges. From legal support to mental health resources, from professional reintegration to family mediation, our approach was comprehensive, compassionate, and globally adaptive. As I prepared for the global summit, I found myself reflecting on the extraordinary journey. The view from my office had transformed dramatically over the decades. No longer was it about personal victory or corporate success. It was about creating a legacy of support, of understanding, of recognizing the true value of service that extended far beyond military deployments. The foundation had become a living testament to the power of turning personal pain into collective healing. What had begun as a response to family betrayal had transformed into a global movement of support, advocacy, and hope. Some stories are meant to be lived, not just told. And this story, our story, continues to unfold, one veteran, one family, one moment of hope at a time. As I looked out over the global network we had created, I realized that the true victory wasn't in the legal battle or the foundation's success. It was in the lives touched, the support provided, the healing facilitated. Our journey had become a beacon of hope for veterans everywhere, a reminder that resilience is not about winning, but about continuing to move forward no matter the challenges. The future stretched before us, infinite, promising, filled with possibilities we had yet to imagine. 50 years had passed since that pivotal moment when my siblings attempted to erase my existence through a forged will. The journey had become far more than a personal narrative. It was now a global testament to the power of resilience, transformation, and the enduring spirit of service. The Michael Rodriguez Veterans Support Foundation had become more than an organization. It was a living, breathing global ecosystem that touched the lives of millions of veterans across continents, generations, and cultural boundaries. What had begun as a deeply personal response to family betrayal had transformed into a comprehensive global movement of support, advocacy, and healing. As I prepared for what would likely be my final global summit, reflections of the entire journey washed over me. The foundation had become a beacon of hope, a revolutionary approach to veteran support that had fundamentally reshaped how societies understand and support those who have served. Elena had become my closest ally in the final decades of our work. Her own journey of redemption had led her to become a global leader in veteran support and policy advocacy. Our relationship, once fractured by betrayal, had transformed into a powerful partnership dedicated to creating meaningful change for veterans worldwide. The technological innovations we had pioneered had revolutionized veteran support. Quantum computing, advanced artificial intelligence, and sophisticated global networks now provided unprecedented levels of personalized support. Our algorithms could predict and prevent veteran challenges with remarkable accuracy, offering support. Before challenges became critical, our global research network had made breakthrough discoveries that extended far beyond military support. The work on post-traumatic growth, resilience, and community healing had influenced fields ranging from psychology to social policy. What had begun as a personal legal battle had transformed into a global movement of scientific and social innovation. The younger generation of veteran leaders had completely reimagined the Foundation's approach. Their technological expertise, global perspective, and deep understanding of modern challenges had propelled the organization into realms we could never have anticipated. The Foundation was no longer just my story. It was a collective narrative of hope, resilience, and global transformation. Our annual global summit had become the most significant gathering of its kind. Experts from over 100 countries would converge to share innovations, develop collaborative strategies, and push the boundaries of veteran support. The event represented the culmination of decades of work, research, and unwavering commitment. The documentary series chronicling our journey had become a global educational resource. Translated into multiple languages, it had become a powerful tool for raising awareness about veteran experiences, family dynamics, and the power of resilience. What had begun as a personal story of betrayal had become a global narrative of hope and healing. Medical research had reached unprecedented levels of sophistication. Our global network had developed innovative treatments for service-related conditions, created comprehensive approaches to mental health support, and fundamentally transformed understanding of the long-term impacts of military service. International policy frameworks now bore the distinct imprint of our Foundation's work. Governments and international organizations approached veteran support with a holistic, comprehensive perspective that we had pioneered. The legal and advocacy frameworks we had developed had become global standards for supporting veterans. Reflection on the journey revealed a profound truth. The most significant victories were not in the courtroom or boardroom, but in the individual lives touched, supported, and transformed. Each veteran who found healing, each family reunited, each individual who discovered a path forward, these were the true measures of our success. Our mother's wisdom continued to guide us, even decades after her passing. Her understanding of resilience, compassion, and the importance of family remained the foundational principles of our global mission. The immigrant experience she had shared had become a powerful narrative of hope and transformation. The Mental Health Initiative had revolutionized global approaches to veteran psychological support. Innovative treatments combining traditional therapeutic approaches with advanced technological solutions had provided hope to veterans facing complex psychological challenges resulting from military service. As I prepared for what would likely be my final global summit, I found myself reflecting on the extraordinary journey. The view from my office had transformed dramatically over the decades. No longer was it about personal victory or corporate success. It was about creating a legacy of support, of understanding, of recognizing the true value of service that extended far beyond military deployments. The Foundation had become a living testament to the power of turning personal pain into collective healing. What had begun as a response to family betrayal had transformed into a global movement of support, advocacy, and hope. Some stories are meant to be lived, not just told. And this story, our story, continues to unfold. One veteran, one family, one moment of hope at a time. As I looked out over the global network we had created, I realized that the true victory wasn't in the legal battle or the Foundation's success. It was in the lives touched, the support provided, the healing facilitated. Our journey had become a beacon of hope for veterans everywhere, a reminder that resilience is not about winning, but about continuing to move forward, no matter the challenges. The future stretched before us, infinite, promising, filled with possibilities we had yet to imagine. And though my personal journey was drawing to a close, the Foundation's work would continue, a testament to the enduring power of hope, resilience, and service. If you found this story inspiring, please subscribe to our channel and help us continue spreading stories of hope, resilience, and transformation.